Hello, comadres. Welcome to the full moon in Leo report. This is your resident moon goddess, Marlene. Thank you, as always, for sharing space with me. And a big, huge welcome for the new comadres. Comadres, you belong here, and we are so happy that you're here. I am the resident moon goddess, as I said before, and you're going to be seeing me pop up here twice a month for the full moon and new moon reports so that we can share each other's stories, we can share tips, we can lean on each other, support each other through some of these moon energies that we can also use to our benefit to create magic in our lives, to manifest in our lives, and primarily to heal. So we are so glad you're here. If the moon is your jam, then make sure that you follow in the topics area of Mighty Networks, and you make sure that you follow the moon report. And then you'll always get notifications as to when we're coming on. Also, you can, I don't know if you can see these ladies on the screen, but there is an option to join live following the Zoom link in the invite in Mighty Networks as well, so that you can be here and you can feel the magic and you can ask questions. Because when I'm done talking my little head off, then we go offline, those of us that are comadres, and we get to ask questions, we get to share, we get to get intimate. Okay, so join us next time. For now, enjoy this from wherever you're watching. We have a full moon in Leo. And this one is coming with a surge of energy because it has a nifty little Mercury retrograde that is pretty much stealing the show. Now, hello, for something to steal Leo's show, this has to be big. Okay, Leos always steal the show. But this full moon, Leo's having a hard time expressing its full self. And it's more creating a mirror. And we're going to get into that in more detail. But first, I want to really talk about this Mercury retrograde. This is the big hitter right now. And it's, like I said, bringing a surge of energy to the areas of friendships, networks, resources, but resources not in the way of like a 8th house resource, meaning your like money, more like your network resources, people you tap into. And this area is being shaken up. So these kinds of relationships, these kinds of partnerships, they could be put through the test. They could either be highlighted or they could go into strain. So stay aware around your relationships during this Mercury retrograde and any kind of lessons that may be coming up. Are you feeling that you have even energy exchange in all of your relationships? Is there a certain energy that is around you that is maybe toxic or discord in some way? Stay awake, stay aware. Try not to react. Leo can be dramatic. It's the inner child. Leo's the inner child, and there could be an impulsive energy. So stay aware of that. And by staying aware, you can maybe respond in a different way, respond in a healthier way. The sun is in Aquarius, so we are in Aquarius season. Happy birthday to the Aquariuses. And let's talk Aquarius, right? So there's a lot of highlight, even though this is a Leo full moon, we're talking Aquarius because it's all packed in there. And there's such a change, such a shift coming with this age and this new kind of energy that we're slowly but surely experiencing and feeling. So I want to talk about the pros and cons of Aquarius. Every sign has a negative and a positive aspect. And we could either express it in a high vibration Aquarius, or a lower vibration Aquarius. And that's not to say that one of us is higher or lower than the other. However, it's a frequency. and we like to call it high vibe. So each sign has these aspects. So let's go through them for Aquarius. Pros for Aquarius: threshold to a quantum leap. I mean, Aquarius is the unconventional. Aquarius is forward thinking, forward moving, new vision, new world. And it's so interesting, and the downloads are amazing, but it could feel a little alien like, because it's showing us new things that we've never experienced. So we may be feeling a weirdness in the air where, and it might be happening in your personal life where you may be feeling like an alien and you may be feeling outside of things, you know? Or you could just be feeling all over weird. Like my partner was like, he came in this morning and he's like, I feel weird. And I'm like, I know, it's going around. It's going around, plus it's a full moon. He's like, oh, okay. Because it's just something that you pick up in the air that doesn't feel quite right. But these are the things that Aquarius brings. It could feel very alien-like because you're innovating. You're moving into territories, not only personally, but collectively, into spaces that we've never been before. Some of the cons of this is, yeah, feeling weird. Sometimes it's not as cozy, kind of cold, detached, you know, comfy. Like it doesn't, it like feels like, I don't know, when you move into like an Art Deco apartment where, you know, or you just came from mom's house and then you move into this new Art Deco apartment, and it's just like, yeah, it's cool, it's modern, but it doesn't feel homey. It doesn't feel welcoming in that way, even though it is really cool. There could be a kind of detached feeling, a kind of isolated feeling that Aquarius can bring with it. So then think about this in a collective level. How isolated maybe some of us are feeling, how some of us are negatively expressing Aquarius, right? And how is that showing up in your life? So I want you to write that down in your journal. How is that weirdness, that detachment, that aloofness, where are you experiencing those alien-like feelings in your life? And how can you find more connection? How can you find more connection? Even though we've called this world in, we didn't know what the hell we were calling in. You know? We were like, yeah, we want the new earth. But we don't know what that was going to feel like. We all had a vision in place. But now we're like, oh, this is weird. This feels like what? You know? It's okay. We're adjusting. We're adjusting to a higher frequency. We're adjusting to, we're all being called to up level, big time. So, next question. Where are you being called to up level? And does up leveling mean trying something new? It's good to look at all of it. You know, Aquarius is objective. It doesn't have a lot of emotion. It's very easily, like, it's not that they don't feel emotion or that Aquarius doesn't have connection to emotion, because it's a very humanitarian sign. So it is concerned with social impact. It just has a hard time connecting one-on-one. So some Aquariuses may be perceived as aloof or detached or non-emotional. And it's not that they're not emotional or that they can't connect to their emotion. It's just that they're so objective that they have the gift of literally detaching from that kind of thinking and just coming from an objective approach. So it's good to look at all of it, run the gamut of things. As you're like journaling these things and things are coming up, I invite you to not like hold back. See, because I told you with Aquariuses, the downloads are 6. I mean, we're talking about new insights, new ideas, innovation, fresh approaches, modern approaches, but they could feel a little bit weird, unconventional. You could be like, oh, well, I've never heard of that before. And it's like, yeah, because maybe somebody hasn't done it. And it's you the one that has to do it. It's you the one that has to run with this idea. So stay open. I would say around this full moon and these times, keep like a little notebook with you, because I feel like a lot of us are going to get some massive like downloads, and they're going to come so quick, and it could be so fast. It could be like lightning, that if we don't have something to jot it down with, or maybe grab your phone and just go into your notes, try to jot them down. Maybe later you'll change your mind about them, but jot them down. You know, allow that stream of consciousness to flow. So Leo is all about expression, right? But again, this full moon, instead of allowing us to fully express, to fully let go, we have mixed feelings. Some of us feel good, some of us feel weird, some of us are kind of in the middle. So it's like Leo wants to express itself, but what it is that it's providing a mirror. I feel like it's providing a mirror to all these new ideas and new things. Because with Mercury retrograde right now, it might not be necessarily the time to act. You know, with retrogrades, and for those of us that are new to astrology, and I'm talking about a Mercury retrograde, and you're like, what the hell is she talking about? Well, I'm talking about the time when a retrograde happens, the planet appears to be going backwards in the solar system. And what this reminds us of, particularly with Mercury, which is going retrograde on the 30th of January through February 20th. With Mercury, in this particular time, is asking us to reevaluate, reassess friendships, networks, the people that you have around you. Making sure that you're receiving as much as you're giving in all aspects of your life. And that you're aware of exactly where it is that maybe you're not giving or you're not receiving. Because we are going to have mixed feelings about it. And, you know, I think it was Judy that had brought to my attention that astrologers were saying that this full moon with its aspects to Jupiter is potentially a very lucky moon. And that is true. There are a lot of aspects that this moon is focusing towards expansion, prosperity, and abundance. The problem is if there's so many twists and turns getting in the way, especially with this retrograde, that it's a little bit hard to be sure of all the opportunities that are coming through. Or does it feel like I should act on that opportunity? Something's not, I mean, I see the potential for luck, I see the potential for growth, but reassess, reevaluate. Are you aligning yourself with the people that are going to help you grow, that are going to help you think differently, that are going to honor this process of thinking outside the box, looking at things with innovation? Or are these the type of relationships that kind of hold you back from that kind of thinking, and they go, oh, Ali, there you go again with your woo-woo shit. Oh, Linda, what are you talking about? You know, and then all of a sudden your spirit just feels like hiding as opposed to shining, as opposed to expressing, which is what Leo wants us to do. Express, and express from that inner child. from that place of like confidence, right? So there is that potentiality to tap into a lot of luck, but make sure that you're getting yourself and make sure that you're working on maintaining a high vibe when you're going to manifest that. It could, right now, getting to certain energy levels might be feeling a little bit weird. But if you can get yourself to that hard space where you're manifesting from unconditional love and you have full belief that the universe is going to give you exactly and meet you where you need it to meet you without being attached to what the outcome looks like, go for it. Because Lady Luck is on your side. Just be careful, because in 2 days, Mercury is going retrograde. So see how it's all like, yay, I want to express myself. Well, but, you know, hold on a second. So that's where I don't know if everyone will perceive this moon as lucky as it sets out to be. Leo can be dramatic, impulsive, you know, and watch out for February 10th. Write that down. Mercury squares Mars. Watch your response. Mercury is communication. Mars is the god of war and aggression. So a lot of astrologers have been pointing towards that date specifically, that it may be an impulsive day. You may have something that triggers you and you go 0 to 60 immediately out of your mouth. Okay, so watch your reactions. Put a little reminder on your phone to be kind that day with your words, to be impeccable with your words that day. Okay, because again, we go back to, you know, the battle of beliefs is still going on, or it's going to be going on for, you know, most of the year. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities to get triggered. It's happening a lot. It's like it comes up, it's coming up a lot, you know? So it's not time to act. It's time to get into the natural order of things. The reason that we have retrogrades, or that the universe communicates through retrogrades, is because we need that sacred pause. We need that pause to reevaluate, restructure, revise, everything. And to honor the ebb and flow. In nature around us, there's an ebb and flow. Everything is not always in expansion. There is contraction. Let's honor the masculine and let's honor the feminine. If it's a time to pause and reevaluate, and the funny thing is that during retrogrades, we get the urge to act, because the insights start coming in and you're restructuring, and all of a sudden you're like getting super excited and you're like, I'm gonna launch, you know? And it's like that excitement, that's what we're talking about. You'll miss details. It's not going to maybe fulfill you in the same way as if you would have waited. You would have given it its creative space. You would have allowed it to grow in its natural time, in its divine timing, with you being a co-creator and designing with that energy, as opposed to resisting the energy, going against it. So how can you flow better? How can you use the mirror effect of who you're networking with so that you can grow as a person? So that you can see, am I honoring myself in all my expressions? Does this person match me vibrationally? And when I say these things, I'm not asking you to go out there like an axe murderer and like just wipe out every like relationship that has a little bit of a challenge. No, it's about observing, being a witness, and seeing where this relationship needs to be placed. And then if unfortunately it doesn't honor you in any way, then maybe make room for lovingly, gracefully saying goodbye or creating some distance. But we don't have to do that in an aggressive way, you know. And it may come out of nowhere is another thing. Sudden change that you're like not prepared for, you know, like you're like making your coffee at like 9 and somebody calls you, a friend calls you that never triggers you, and that moment she triggers you or he triggers you, and then boom, you react. It can come as subtle as that. Okay, so keep all of that in mind. Remember, be the witness. Remember that this full moon is creating a mirror effect for you to witness something. And it depends where it is in your natal chart that it is affecting or is creating the mirror. But it has to do, again, around friendships, around networking. Who is around you becomes very, very important. And you know why? Because aligning yourself with the right community is going to become more and more important as the years go by. Aquarius is about community, about social movement, about social impact. And who you're aligning yourself right now is pivotal to the work that you're going to do. So ask yourself, what will future Judy thank me for? What is future Janine going to thank me for? Are the decisions that I'm making now supporting the individual, the spirit, the soul, the work that I want to do in this world? So I also want you to, if you like, write down this mantra and use it as you will. My mind is sharp with intuitive insights. My mind is sharp with intuitive insights, comma, I humbly serve with heart and dedication. I humbly serve with heart and dedication. Because remember, Uranus is the ruling planet of Aquarius, and it is known to be the father of the heavens. So when it comes to Aquarius, it's so high vibrational that sometimes our human condition doesn't allow us to even grasp the big picture. But it's our faith and our surrender into that vision and to that belief that moves us forward, that keeps us moving into higher and higher and higher frequencies, higher dimensions. And essentially, that is what we're doing. We are working towards moving as a collective, as a planet, into higher dimensions, so that we are not bound by the laws of the third dimension, so that we can break through and find unity. So we can move these polarities to the middle and find harmony and balance. Okay? So where intuitively can you move into those spaces of unity? I want you to take a few minutes right now. And I want you to list 3 things that you are ready to let go of. They could be small, they could be big, they could be a feeling, they could be an idea. They could be abstract and unconventional. Really, really allow your spirit to speak. And when we're letting go of things, the way I try to prioritize them is what is getting mostly in the way of who I long to be, what I long to fulfill, how my connection with divinity flows. And these are changeable and mutable. Maybe you write down 3 now, and then later you're like, oh, change my mind. That's okay too. Allow these insights to come through and then trust yourself. And then after, when you have time, remember we spoke, if you watched last video, I was mentioning to the comadres that there was a lack of fire. And we still don't have a lot of fire going on. This is a full moon in Leo, which is a fire sign. But there's so much earth and a little bit of air that I'm gonna ask you to increase the fire. Okay, so these 3 things that you wrote down, I want you to then transfer them to another piece of paper and fold them up however you like. Take them to your third eye. And as you're setting the intention of letting go of this, I want you to bring to your visualization what you imagine your life to be like without these things that hold you back. See it. See all the details. See the joy in your face. See what you're wearing, the space around you. Who's with you? Try to see it as much as you can. Don't put any time limit to this. Allow yourself to visualize. And once you have that and you feel satisfied with that visualization, bring the paper down to your heart center. Envelop it with unconditional love. See pink and green and gold going through the paper. Forgive yourself for allowing these things to get in the way. This is how we learn. Say thank you, because some of these things have helped us survive and have helped us make it this far. And once you can really feel the gratitude, then blow your intention onto the paper. And then burn that baby up. Alchemize, watch the smoke go up to Great Spirit, Source, God, Creator, Universe, Higher Self. Offer that up as transmuted and transformed. And then here's the kicker, comadres. It is done. It's done. We don't need to revisit. It's done. Okay. So I hope that this full moon exercise brings you clarity, allows you to see a clear mirror of the things that the universe wants to show you, that brings incitement and joy into your life. This is a really, really exciting time, even though it feels really weird and there's a lot of work to do. Nobody is denying that, but it is kind of exciting where we're going. So try to bring that new vision into this ritual. Try to hold that in your heart because that's all we can do for now. And the more of us that hold that beacon of light, the better chance we have of others waking up and seeing that same light and seeing that same vision. So we are powerful. You are powerful, but we are unstoppable. Okay. So I hope that that served you, comadres. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you for the next new moon report. Until then, stay well, stay healthy, and stay safe. Mwah. Big hugs.